Well, hi and welcome back to my shop, and we're working again on the farm radio. This is a radio from 1946, Canadian General Electric, model number C57B, of a type commonly known as farm radios, which simply means they were designed to run on batteries, and there's the battery connections. So we're a little ways down the road with this radio. Just to recap, replace the many of the capacitors, small capacitors in it, and that's about it, I guess, at this point. Went through the last video was a round of testing, and the radio's not working, so that's where we're starting up from. See if we can make this radio work. So one of the problems I think with my last setup was a very poorly connected battery. So here's a battery. I tested it just a moment ago. It's a little over 1.4 volts, so it's not the 1.6 of a brand new battery, but I think we'll go with it. I'm going to guess these tubes will work at quite a much lower voltage. And what we want to do is we want to solder them on the end of this plug. We'd rather solder them at the end of the wires, which would mean a little awkward. Back there, that's pretty awkward. I thought that was going to be the simplest thing. And the other wire excuse me. The other wire, the black one, it's kinda in a bad way too. But actually the other one's just a ground connection. So I only have to make one connection. One difficult connection. I got it. Now, the ground side, we just need a nice handy ground. There's one here. That's pretty easy to get at. Stick that down there. set is off. That's good. This is much better than my original arrangement with clip leads and very, very poor connections. And it bypassed the on-off switch. Come on. This time it doesn't, so when I turn the set off, the battery is switched off, it doesn't drain. It's actually a dual switch on the back of the on-off switch. Switches the high voltage and the low voltage. Talking about high voltage, let's connect that up. Just make sure that we don't have a short there. Which I'm really quite sure of already, but let's just be sure. Because short between the high voltage and the low voltage probably make pretty quick business of all the filaments in here. Which again is one of the reasons why I'm using a battery. Because this thing can't be any more than 1.6 volts no matter what. Okay, let's go in there. Okay, and I have my voltmeter. Let me just move a few things here. Okay, I'll turn on the high voltage supply. And first we'll bring up the high voltage and we'll leave the set turned off. Just to make sure there's no current flowing. No current flowing, okay? So we'll turn on the heaters, if you like. Now we'll bring on the B plus voltage. Can you see the meter? Oh, I didn't set it so you can see it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sorry about that. Here, let's just turn off the high voltage again and I'll move it. Oh, it's this light over here. I think that's causing us a problem. Got too many lights in here. Hey, how about that? There we go. Okay. For you guys, it looks great on the computer. Here in my shop, this is crazy dark, so I may not be able to do this. Okay, try on that meter. Okay, B plus is turned on but not up. Oh, and we'll turn the 150 volts full scale, so we don't want to go much past straight up and down. Ready? There we go. Now I've got my eye on the current meter too on my supply. It's definitely reading current. think that would be right in the 90 region. It's 90 on that meter exactly. Let's turn up the volume. You know what? I didn't put an antenna on it. Okay, let's put a... Let's put an antenna on it. That would be this wire here. Hey, it's our radio. How do you like that? Okay, let's tune it. Oh, wait a minute. A little round of applause. Okay. Now, let me just turn the volume down because unfortunately I'll get a copyright claim. Okay, let's just check the heater voltage at this point. Heater voltage. Well, I'm pretty happy about that actually. That radio actually working. Here we go. One 1.2, so that's down quite a ways now from what you'd really want to be pushing it, but as just as I thought, still working. Just, you know, it's going to lose some volume. Going to lose some stations. That doesn't help. It's the same thing, basically, I just did. Hey, where'd the signal go? Well, could be that battery has given up the ghost even as we sit here. Let's just keep tuning. I just turned on my signal generator. I do need a little more light on the subject here. That's a little better. attempt a quick alignment here. Let's see. Screws from the top. So we're going to dial in the IF, which is supposed to be 460. Yeah, 460. Now we're going to feed that right into the antenna. I don't hear anything. Okay, the proper place to connect it is to the grid cap of the 1A7. And the 1A7 is the middle tube. Cut back the output of the signal generator. Okay, hang on a second here. Okay, so now we're ready to perform some alignment steps. Anyways, an initial test. So I've got everything just about ready to go. Let's apply. Let's turn on the switch. Okay. And we'll begin to apply B plus. There should be about 90 volts of B plus there. There's the radio. What I'm doing is I'm going right past the IF frequency. The radio's not responding at all, so okay, let's see. At this point I've got the output of the signal generator not grounded to the radio chassis. The connection's definitely coming from the signal generator. The signal generator output is now full. Let's go by again. Ah, just nothing. That's a little odd. Here, let's just tune the radio properly. And by that I mean we'll put the radio on to. Hey, let's put it on the signal generator like that. Yeah. So take this up. Turn up the. Should be around here. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Okay, we're on the outdoor antenna now. Oh. You know what? That could have been on shortwave. Listen to that. That's Morse code. So I'm on the short wave band. That's pretty darn good. Okay, so let's go on the other band. Now we're on the AM band. Wait a minute. That must be the tone switch, because we're still in the same spot. So here we go. Now we're on the other band. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're somewhere around 9 or 10, I would say. Hey, come on. Oh, wait. Okay, now it's plugged into the signal generator. Come on. Okay, back on the external antenna. Just tune the radio. Yeah, that's a local AM station, or not terribly local. That's the oscillator here. And this is probably AM and FM. Probably AM here. No. Okay. So why didn't the signal generator supply a signal? It's twice now. Now my signal generator has to be working because these numbers wouldn't show if there wasn't an output. Maybe because I haven't grounded it to the radio. And okay, so we think we're up around here. Nothing. How come? Mysteries abound at all times. So, seems to be working as a radio. Can't seem to get the IF frequency into it. Can't seem to pump in a signal. Man, it's just got me kind of floored. I have nightmares about this. Somehow it manages to receive stuff despite me shoving a signal right into it. Well, the good news is it's working. And there's probably a couple of more alignment things to do here. RF trimmer, antenna trimmer, on the back here. Yeah, I don't think there's any other adjustments I can really make on this radio. It's going to make any real beneficial difference. I think it needs to be cleaned up. It's going into a beautiful cabinet. So I'm gonna call it off at this point. And say there we go. Didn't seem to be any serious alignment problem with it. I wasn't talking, I think, when I was turning the screws there, but it was clear there wasn't much to benefit from that, which is quite common, even in dusty old radios that have been laying around for a long time. So we're going to clean him up and put him in back in his proper home, his cabinet. And I think there's going to be some wow factor to that. So, thanks for watching to this point, and hopefully I'll have a finished version, or the last stage rather, finished version, the last stage, done shortly.